Hello everybody and welcome back to the American Dynasty YouTube channel. So we are going to be talking about the USA players that have been playing on Friday, Saturday, and yesterday on Sunday. Basically over the weekend. We're not going to be talking about every USA player in this video. I am going to be talking about specific players that have stood out, and it is going to be for different reasons. They may have stood out because they have been performing very bad, or they have been standing out because they have been performing very good. It's going to be for different reasons, and we're going to be talking about Zack Steffen, Josh Sargent, Scally, Sergino Dest, and Konrad De La Fuente. These are going to be the 5 players that we are going to be revolving around. But let's first talk about Zack Steffen. So some huge news did break out throughout this weekend. Zack Steffen did have his first start for the Premier League against Burnley, and in that game, Manchester City won 2-0 at their home. Again, this was a huge moment for Zack Steffen because he does not necessarily get a start that much for Man City. Like, he doesn't really get a lot of game time, and the fact that he has gotten a start in a Premier League match, which is his first Premier League match to start in, right? Again, it's some huge news because we want to see our goalkeepers being used in their clubs. And I remember about 4 to 5 months ago, many were saying that Zack Steffen should have left in the second season because after what we have seen in the previous season, right, which was his first season with Man City, many were saying, okay, this goalkeeper is not going to be used enough. Pep Guardiola does not really trust in this player, so he should be moving elsewhere. Maybe get loaned out to AC Milan or Tottenham or Lazio or Valencia, wherever it may be. But at Man City, it simply just wasn't it. And so in this game with Man City against Burnley, he did show huge confidence. And he made a very big save, which was on the 21st minute, and he was on a 1v1 with another forward coming from Burnley. That player did take a shot against Zack Steffen, but only for Zack Steffen to block that shot, which was a miracle, right? Because many of us also do say that Zack Steffen is not the best shot stopper, but when it comes to his feet, he is like world class, right? But in this moment, the fact that he stopped this, the fact that he denied Burnley potentially tying against Man City 1-1, it's a miracle because we want to see Zack Steffen be very confident on the field, and we saw exactly that within this game. Now, Zack Steffen has showed throughout this game that he can be a very reliable goalkeeper when it does come to the short passes, because every time Laporte or Stones were being pressed, they always saw Steffen as an outlet to pass to, and every time Steffen received the ball, he could either pass it to Aki or Cancelo. But when it came to the long passes, this is where many were saying that, okay, Zack Steffen is not that good when it comes to the long passes, but he did complete a total of 1 out of the 4 long passes that he executed on the field. And so that's not the best stat, but I do think that overall his quality is present on the field, that he is a very decent shot stopper. When it comes to his short passes, he is 100% at doing that. But I think that Do I believe that Zack Steffen is a good enough goalkeeper to start for Man City? No, I do not think so, but I also think that he is good enough to play consistent minutes every weekend, right? He needs to be playing consistent minutes every weekend, and that is going to be the conclusion. He has done well against Burnley with Man City, and I hope that we continue to see more consistency on his minutes because he's simply just too good sitting on the bench like 80% of the time. So now I want to move on towards Sargent. And in this game, Norwich City has tied against Brighton 0-0. Norwich has yet to win a game in the Premier League, which is very sad. They are in poor form, and this is getting very alarming, right? To see that Norwich are doing so poor right now. One of the reasons on why they are doing poor, it is because of Sargent, right? I'm not going to be putting the full blame on Sargent right now. I think that he is part of the blame because I think that if Sargent was to be 100% and if he were to actually put these opportunities and convert them into goals, they would be in a much different position. And again, this is very alarming because Sargent is a player that many of us, right, us USA fans expect Sargent to be a top striker. We expect Sargent to be a striker that can put in goals, a striker that can be very efficient. But so far with Norwich, he has yet to do that. And I do think that in this game against Brighton, this was actually the first time where Sargent could have actually scored about 1 to 2 goals in this game. This was the first time. In the previous games, we have seen this midfield coming from Norwich not give the best service towards Sargent, but in this game, he actually had opportunities. And the fact that they came out this game with not a single goal scorer, it's kind of like we were asking, Sargent could have done something. This was the moment for Sargent to actually score a goal, because there was a moment throughout this game, I believe that it was on the 43rd minute, where he was given a long pass. It was him versus a defender and a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper misses the ball on because he was trying to kick it, and then Sargent receives the ball. He has possession, and the only thing that he had to do, was to kick that ball into the net. But what did we see in that moment? On 43rd minute, we saw Sargent kick the ball, but so softly, like if he was passing it to a player, and the defender from the opposition had enough time to actually get in front of the ball and deny Sargent that goal. And to be very honest, like just seeing how slow that ball was going into the net, I think that if everyone just stopped for a moment and they let the ball continue to move, it probably would have never reached the inside of the net. That's how slow it actually was. There was no power in that shot. And you know what's so crazy about this? Like, I actually felt like Sargent deserved a goal in this game. Like, I really felt like he could have came out with a much better performance, because if we look at these stats right here, right, if you guys were to look at the screen, we can see that there is a total of 1 shot on target, 2 shots were blocked, he attempted 2 dribbles, succeeded in 1, he had 1 big chance missed, and a total of 3 key passes. You look at these stats here and you can just tell, right, that Sargent could have came out with a much better performance, but he didn't. He could have came out with about 1 to 2 goals, but he didn't. And I think that once we saw that moment on the 43rd minute where the ball just couldn't go inside the net, I don't even think that him having enough skill is the issue. I think that what the issue is that he has no confidence. His self-esteem is so low that he himself does not even believe that he could score. And that's what I'm saying, right? I feel like if Sargent had confidence, I feel like if Sargent had more audacity to do things on his own in the final third area, Norwich would be in a much different position. Not in a good position, but in a different position. And so the only solution I do find on this in order for Sargent to get better is to continue to put out these reps, to continue to play more minutes, to continue to try and score more goals, to continue to try and work with the other players. Just try, right? Try, fail, try, succeed, try, fail, try, succeed. You see, like, he needs more reps, because that is how you are going to be working on your self-esteem. He needs to continue to get more minutes, and hopefully one day we see Sargent in the level that we want to see him at. Like, to be very honest, if you were to ask me what is the best system that can suit Sargent to get the best out of this player, I would probably place a 4-5-1 formation at Norwich and give Sargent that striker role, and the only role and the only duty that he has to do on the field would be to find the balls from the midfielders. That is it. He has to stay up high and do nothing else. I do not want to see Sargent drop deep and try to work with the players and then try to move forward with the other midfielders. I don't want to see that, because that's wasting talent, that is wasting energy. Sargent needs to be there in and outside the box all the time, 100% of the time, and receiving balls from the wingers, from the midfielders. Then you will get something from Sargent. Then you will get the best version from this player, and you are going to be succeeding as a collective with this team. Now I do want to move on towards the next player, which is going to be about Joseph Scally. Now, this is going to be another player that really does interest me, and I'm going to be making a huge statement on like why I'm talking about this player in this video, and like why, like I am going to be having a very big reason on why I do want to talk about this player in this video. So Joseph Scally did play against Stuttgart. Over the weekend, they have tied 1-1. It doesn't mean that Scally had a bad performance, because in this game, Scally continues to impress. He continues to impress on the field. He continues to show a statement. Every performance that he puts out with Mönchengladbach, he continues to put out a statement that you need to call me for the next camp. I need to be there in the squad list. I need to be there in that match against Mexico, because let me tell you guys, the way that Scally has been performing is like you cannot deny a player like him. Now let's look at the stats that he has put out on the field. We can see here that he had a total of 31 accurate passes, with 93.9% of it being accurate. He had a total of 2 key passes, 1 shot that was on target. He had 1 dribble attempted, one of it was succeeded. He attempted 4 ground duels, won 3. He also attempted one aerial duel, but he won 0. But overall, these are stats, these are numbers that does make a great right wing back. That is his position, by the way. He does play as a right back, or maybe he can play as a right wing back, and sometimes we do see him play as a left wing back, like what we did see in this game specifically. So he could play on the left and he could play on the right. I would prefer him playing on the right because of he is right-footed, and I think that he's more efficient when it does come to him playing on the right flank. But this is a player that excites me so much because of what he could do and what he could become later down the line, like in about 4 to 5 years. He is so young. He is only 18 years old. And the fact that you are only 18 years old and you play as a right wing back and you can be this efficient on that right flank and make Mönchengladbach that much better, that is very interesting. That is very, very enticing, because this is a player that can bring both the offensive game and the defensive game. And that is also a great thing to know, because like for example, a player like Sergino Dest, right? We know that Sergino Dest, historically, right? We're not talking about his form right now, but historically, he has shown that he can be offensively very good, but defensively, he always does seem like a liability. But we're going to be talking about Dest later in this video. I'm going to be explaining his form and how he has been doing later in this video, maybe in the next one. But basically, Scally, he knows how to do both. Like, he's not that good offensively or he's not that good defensively. He is very balanced on both, right? He is a very balanced right back. And the only thing that I would say that he would need to improve on would be his crossing. I think that his crossing needs to be more accurate. It needs to be more powerful. He needs to be more precise in those crosses, because he is given that role. He is that right wing back that Mönchengladbach does rely on. They want him to do those amazing crosses and have those crosses be very accurate. But besides that, he is a great, efficient right wing back. A right wing back that is essential for his club. But now this is going to be moving us towards the next player, which is going to be his competitor, right? Again, I don't want to make this feel like this is some sort of like toxic competition, like these two players hate each other, but we need this healthy competition in the USA men's national team, because now we're going to be talking about Sergino Dest. Sergino Dest did play against Valencia. Barcelona won against Valencia 3-1, and Barcelona came with the approach of playing a 4-3-3 formation, right? It was 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. Now, you might be saying, okay, so Sergino Dest played as a right back in that 4-man defensive line. No, Sergino Dest did not play as a right back in this game. That is what makes it very exciting, right? Is that in this game, Koeman chose to go for a 4-3-3 with Sergino Dest playing as a right winger in that front three. Yes, in that front three, not in the defensive line, and he was playing as a right back. He was playing as a right winger in the front three. It's very similar to what has been happening with Alphonso Davies. We know that Davies is a great left back, but at Canada, he has been playing as a left winger. Sometimes at Bayern Munich, we even see him playing as a left winger. Now we're seeing the exact same thing with Sergino Dest. And we did have a front three of Ansu Fati on the left, Memphis Depay playing as a center forward, and then we had Sergino Dest playing as a right winger. So it was a very interesting front three. And I think that one of the main reasons on why Koeman chose to use Sergino Dest in that right wing position, it's because of what we have seen during the international break, because of USA and Costa Rica. USA and Costa Rica had a match where USA have won, and one of the star performers within that game, it was Sergino Dest. And one of the reasons on why he was a star performer, it is because of his attacking presence and the fact that he has shown that he is able to be wide and then invert himself into the center and look for those shots, or maybe look for a pass to pass it to either Happy or whoever it may be in the USA national team. Pepe, yeah, right, like whoever that striker is. Sergino Dest is really good at doing that. And I think that when Koeman saw how Dest was performing with USA, he's like, I need that. I need that in my Barcelona team. That is why I do think that he chose Dest to play on the right wing, because of how lethal he can be in the attack. So his main duties as a right winger was to basically attack. It was also to look for crosses. It was to dribble against the opposition, basically doing what he does best. And he has also given out an assist in the final minutes of that match between Barcelona and Valencia that led towards Coutinho scoring his first goal with FC Barcelona. And so Sergino Dest really gave Valencia a big headache, because it questioned Valencia, right? Valencia were asking, is he going to dribble? Is he going to cross? Is he going to run into the box? Is he going to be cutting in and trying to shoot with his left foot? Like, what is it going to be? That's what's so amazing about Dest, is that he has so many weapons. He has so many different ways to attack. And just looking at his form overall, seeing given what we have been seeing from Sergino Dest in the past 5 games, both club and international, he has been in world-class form. He has been in a form that we have not seen since like back in Ajax or like 2 years ago. Sergino Dest is really putting out great performances in top-level football. And not only that, but he is always being considered to be one of the best players of the international team or the club team. He has been doing that. He is that good. And so I think that Dest has reached such a level that when it comes to the US men's national team, it is almost impossible for USA to bench this player for another player. I just do not see it. I do not see Sergino Dest being kicked away from the starting 11 for the USA men's national team. No, I don't care how good Scally gets. I really don't, because Dest is just too good to be benched. I think that the only thing that Scally could do if he actually reaches a very high level is that he may push Dest towards the left back position, right? The left back position, and then we could see Scally play on the right back position. Now, I know that Scally could play on the left back position, but I would much rather prefer to see Sergino Dest on the left back position and then Scally on the right side. And so like, I can't even think about what that starting 11 is going to be like for USA in the 2022 World Cup, or I don't even know what it's going to look like in the 2026. Like, is Scally going to develop into a player that many of us do expect him to be? Is Dest going to continue to be the best right back in the world? Like, I have no idea. As for now, just based off what I have been seeing, that defensive line should be, our center back duo should be Chris Richards, Robinson, right? That's going to be the center back duo. I would put Dest on the left side and Scally on the right side. That is a great young defensive line that can do wonders for the US men's national team. But I know that I'm getting kind of like off topic right now because of just how exciting all these players are becoming. But now let's move on towards Konrad De La Fuente, right? Konrad De La Fuente is another player that I wish we could see consistently in a USA shirt, but we haven't seen that. Konrad De La Fuente over the weekend has played against Lorient, and Marseille have won against Lorient 4-1. Konrad De La Fuente did start in this match. He was a very dangerous player. Again, he has shown that he can be a very lethal left winger. Even though I know that he has not put out an assist or a goal in this game, he was still a very dangerous player. The only thing that Konrad De La Fuente does for Marseille is that he advances the team as a collective moving forward. He knows how to take the ball forward, progress the ball, put Marseille, all of the players in dangerous positions. And so I love that. I love that Konrad De La Fuente is maturing as a player. He also showed that he had no problem on taking down players. Like, he was taking down 1 to 2 players like in every 5 to 6 minutes. It was a very entertaining match coming from Konrad De La Fuente. And I think that in this game, he really did deserve a goal. I wish that he scored a goal in this match, but it is what it is. And I think that eventually we'll see his goal come. Now, one thing that really does stand out coming from Konrad De La Fuente, and he has especially shown this in this game against Loriente, is his technical quality, right? His ability to dribble in tight spaces, his ability to pick out passes in areas that we did not even think existed. And I think that his technicality is so good. I would actually place him right next to Pulisic and Gio Reyna when it comes to being technical on the ball. Not in terms of like level and like how effective they could be on the field. I don't think that he is there yet. But when it comes to the technicality, he is right there, right next to Gio Reyna and Pulisic. We also saw Konrad De La Fuente on the 53rd minute execute a sombrero, which was crazy to see. The fact that he has put the ball over the player so easy, right, and then continue to dribble and progress. He's a very entertaining player, and I love it. I hope that he continues to put out performances like this so he can make a great case towards Greg Berhalter and make Greg Berhalter say that, okay, I need to bring this player in and really give him some minutes. And for those of you guys who want to say, no, but Kevin, Konrad De La Fuente has no space in the squad list for USA, and especially for Camp 3, and I don't even think that he's going to have space to play against Mexico. That's a horrible excuse. Like, there is so much space, right? There is an area where Konrad De La Fuente could take. Like, for example, why is Arriola in the squad list for USA? Why did he have to be in Camp 2 about 1 to 2 weeks ago? Konrad De La Fuente can easily take Arriola's spot, and he can play as a right winger in that area. Like, if you're going to give Arriola that much minutes on that area and that much importance, why not do that with Konrad De La Fuente? He can play as a right winger, he can play as a left winger, so I want to see more from that player. And especially when you know that player is versatile, because he can use his left foot and he can also use his right foot. But that is going to be wrapping up today's American Dynasty YouTube channel. Those are going to be the players that I believe stood out the most. Yes, it is for the wrong reasons. Yes, it is for a positive reason, but these are players that have to be discussed within today's video, and that's basically it. The next video is going to be coming on Friday night or Friday morning, because the Champions League is back. They are going to be playing on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we are going to be having a certain amount of players participate over the weekday, and so it should be very exciting. If you guys do want to follow whatever I do want to post on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe, like this video, please, because it's going to be helping the YouTube algorithm. Is going to be pushing this video into the recommendations and stuff like that. So I really do want to just bring the best quality videos towards you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. But again, that is going to be wrapping up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.